weather is definitely not the greatest right now, but I got my brand new backpack and my drone inside it, which is super cool. I have a little helicopter here, but we gotta go to the park. And the rain time's ruining my day.
Today I missed my workout, but it worked out. Now I'm
getting right into the DJI Spark review with these ominous skies, and my gosh, if you just saw that time lapse, the rain is pouring down just miles off of me, and there's lightning strikes and thunder, and hopefully this Rode Video Micro is not picking up any of the wind because it is windy out here, and that's a good test for the DJI Spark. And of course, I have 5 pillars to what makes a great drone. For me, there's 5 pillars on what makes a drone great. And this drone, I'm just gonna get 2 out. The DJI Spark, I have the controller, but if you buy a DJI Spark straight from the DJI website, they don't give you the controller for $400. You have to buy the controller separate, and it's an extra $100. So this whole package costs $500, but you could probably get it for $400 right now. So that's the price. That's one pillar. And airplanes going over me. But the other pillar is the size and compactness of the drone, and the DJI Spark is small, but I just wish the Spark's arms folded a little bit like the Mavic Air, which was released in 2018. So if the Spark's arms could fold, it would be even a smaller package, but it's still small. Here's just a live controller to Spark comparison. The controller is bigger than the Spark, and the controller is much harder to carry around than the Spark. I put the Spark in here, easy to take around. This thing with these joysticks right here, not so easy. But on the newer drone in 2018, the Mavic Air actually allows you to take off these joysticks. And I didn't even say yet, but I've had the DJI Spark for around 8 months, so this is going to be a really complete review in my opinion. The last thing I gotta tell you before I fly my drone in the air is the battery life. The DJI Spark only gets you 12 minutes. On the DJI website, it says 16, but I've truly only gotten 12, 13, if lucky-ish minutes out of this thing. It's not that much at all. I just wish for a little more. The 2 other pillars I've yet to talk about. One is the camera, and the DJI Spark is packing a 2-axis gimbal, not 3-axis like the Mavic Pro or the Mavic Air, and it's only packing a 1080p camera. There's the thunder at 30 frames per second, so no 4K in this drone. But the question is, do you really need 4K? As I'm always gonna upload all my videos in 1080p because it's 4 times less the file size, and it just uploads much faster, and people watch all their YouTubes on the phone, so you can't really see 4K on your phone. When I first got the Spark, and this was my first ever drone straight out of the box, I was flying it right away, and it was pretty simple, and it only took me like around 4 flights to become a quote-unquote expert. But those 2 pillars, the camera and those software features, I'm gonna demonstrate right now in front of you at this park, which I think is a great place to fly your drone because you have a lot of eyesight of it. And also, by the way, I don't even need to say this in my overview part of this video, you need to get the controller. For an extra $75 right now, you get so much extra range. You could fly this Spark a mile away. With your phone, you could only fly it 100 yards. You want the controller. And not only do you get better range with the controller, but it's easier to fly and quickly learn because of that physical contact with the controller. It feels like any other gaming console controller, Xbox, PlayStation, it feels grippy. But to start flying only takes around 30 seconds. Just press this power button, open it up. I'm gonna have to stop filming this now and then switch probably to my iPad because I'm filming this on my phone right now. But you put your phone in here, go into the DJI app, press and hold this power button, that turns it on. It's beeping, then they connect to each other, and then you're ready to fly in around a minute. It's not that hard to fly. But now it's time to make your own judgment on how good the DJI Spark camera truly is. Remember, it's 1080p at 30 frames per second. Come on, start, there we go. I'm only gonna fly this to 60% because I gotta show you the software features.
Had to buy a crib for I bought my first house. Had my first kid, I love how she turned out. I love how she turned up, even if I'm burnt out. I'ma have so many seeds, I could have a bird house. I'ma love on they mama, I hope it work out. I hope it work out. Luckily, my ex ugly. I don't eat, so she can't get no lunch with me. I don't reach, so she can't get in touch with me. Can't be buds with me, don't know what to be. She gon' cuss at me, told her give it a rest, so I keep custody. Keep it all side eyes inside hugs with me. I know that my girl's trust is a luxury. I don't want my next album sounding all ushery, but I must confess, for every single ex, I want the best. I really wish you nothing but success. I know it's gonna work out. doesn't it get dark right before the sun peaks and bears his face? And doesn't it get so hard to breathe?
Oh, we're back on the phone now, but the Spark's at 15%. So what I'm gonna do to show you the rest of the software features is go charge it back at the house and then come back to the park. Because I've had this drone for 8 months, I know my drone. But just reconfirming on what I said earlier, I didn't have enough battery life that I would have wanted. If this thing was 20 minutes, that would have been perfect because I would have been able to do all the quick shots, but I wasn't able to, so I'm gonna have to go back to the house and then charge it with my drone. But I still gotta give you my thoughts on this. And my opinion is, just putting it out there, this drone is amazing. It is fantastic for its price at $400, and this drone is gonna satisfy like 90% of the people out there. You just saw the footage that this thing produced. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. I don't even know if I got lightning in the clouds over there, but the drone's 2-axis gimbal is still really good, still really stabilized. 1080p is still good enough. 4K, great. We could crop in on that image, but 1080p is just fine still for 2018. I find this kind of sad, not on DJI's part, but on my part. I've never used the DJI Spark's active track before, and that's when you choose a subject and it follows you. I tried that for the first time right now. I was just on my hoverboard going down the sidewalk, and the DJI Spark tracked me to the T, and the second it loses me for a second because I pointed the camera down, as soon as I point it back up, it tracks me yet again and it finds me right away. The software on this thing, the DJI software is pretty good. I don't really know why I've never used the active track. I'm actually gonna probably start using it now that I've tried it for the first time. It's really good. I've flown this drone around 40 to 50 flights, and I'll say around 75% of all those flights I lose connection with the drone because you could only fly this 1 mile away. But as soon as you lose connection with the Spark and it's a mile away, just flying, just chilling, gliding in the air, at my very first flight, I was worried. I was like, oh no, what's gonna happen now? Did I just lose my DJI Spark? But no, all of a sudden it says, returning to home, bah, bah, bah. And then it just returns to home where I am right now because this thing has GPS. So unless you're flying in the middle of New York City, you're not gonna lose this thing. So I thought I really need a second battery. It makes flying so much easier. Sliding back in there. But as small as this drone is, and it is small, this thing just glides in heavy wind. This thing just hovers in place using that 2-axis gimbal to stabilize the camera, and this thing stays stable even with this heavy wind out here with the downdraft. Just 5 miles away, there's thunder and lightning. The Spark's durability is top notch. You're not gonna break it, you're not gonna lose it because of return to home. And of course, this Spark has obstacle avoidance, although I never even use it. I don't even have it turned on. It's good to have the obstacle avoidance when you're first learning the drone, because trust me, if I didn't have that, I was about to crash into a tree the first ever time I flew it. There's obstacle avoidance sensors on the top and the bottom that, if you have them enabled, are going to protect your drone from hitting any object in the world. And let me say, I got the DJI Spark in Alpine White, and it's available in around 5 other colors. I know that it's available in a yellow color, a green color, a red. I don't know about a blue, maybe a blue. That's the lightning siren calling off the lightning warning. But if you want a serious drone at a cheap price, and for $400, this package is absolutely amazing. I just recommend getting an extra battery for the reasons I've said. But for $400, you're getting a lot. You're getting a good 1080p camera, you're getting DJI software, so you're getting the active track, the quick shots, and of course you're getting that 2-axis stabilized gimbal in this small compact package. You could of course get a cheaper drone for $150, $200, or even $300, but those drones aren't going to give you the software and the hardware compared to the value of the DJI Spark at its price. But the DJI Spark isn't for everyone, as you can tell by its $400 price tag. There are going to be other drones out there like the Mavic Air or the Mavic Pro or the Mavic 2, which is going to release in a couple weeks. But all those drones, starting with the Mavic Air costing at $700, are almost double the price of the Spark. And yes, those drones are going to give you 4K and more flight time and more range, but do you really need all that? Because if a mile's fine for you, then that's a check mark right there. If 1080p is good for you, that's another check mark right there. And if you just get a second battery, which I have yet to do, then battery life is also not going to be a problem. Overall, the DJI Spark is a great drone, and I'm still thinking that 8 months in, 0 complaints about this thing. The only drone in my opinion could possibly replace this for me is probably the Mavic 2 with all those rumors. But for $400, you cannot complain at all about the Spark. The Spark has just such amazing value. And if you want to get into drones for your very first time and looking for your first ever drone purchase, I definitely recommend the DJI Spark. It's a great drone.
But it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. With nothing left to give, with nothing left to say. When no one says they're wrong or sets the record straight.
It's days like these that just make me appreciate the DJI Spark even more. That active track mode works way better than I thought it was going to. I'm not even kidding, but the people here exponentially increase at like around 7 to like 10 o'clock. Time to fly the drone.
But it's gonna work out.
It's now time to show off all the quick shots with the DJI Spark. Here's the drone, and I'm just gonna press go. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, it records for me. I was about to worry.
But I'm with her now. Don't need closure now. Just keep the shirt now. Sorry you were led to believe. Bunch of different stories that was never to be. No, you isn't ugly, I just said it to be. Funny, we both know that you look better than me. Sorry I started running when you ran into me. I'm just trying to be the kind of man I'ma be. And I'm getting better, gotta hand it to me. See, no, always work out when you hand it to G. I missed my workout, but it worked out. Now I'm missing work now, but it worked out. Had to buy a crib for I bought my first house. Had my first kid, I love how she turned out. I love how she turned out. Even if I'm burnt out, I'ma have so many seeds. I can have a birdhouse. I'ma love on they mama. I hope it work out. I hope it work out. I believe in long distance love. God that's above. Born and so strong, can't let y'all ball head out. Yeah, y'all in a rush, you all in a rush. We all gon' meet up in the upper room. If I run into him, I'll be running to him. We could rerun the show, we could re-bump into him. If we read the wrong one, we could re-jump the broom. If we read the wrong one, baby, we jump the broom. I'm ready to be groomed, I'm ready to